Right, hello everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Friday Football Fix, episode number 2, where we're getting you in the mood for a weekend of football and giving you your Friday fix of football before the weekend starts. So, we've just had episode 1, so thank you very much for everyone who watched that first episode. So, once again, I'm here with my girlfriend Lizzie. So, how did you find the first episode?
Yeah, you know what? It turned out better than I thought it would when I watched it back.
Yeah.
I always feel like awkward in these situations.
It's always hard when you're doing it because you always feel like you're stumbling over your words, and then when you watch it back, it's never as bad as it seems.
I just thought I chatted shit, but actually I found myself agreeing with myself. If that makes sense. When I was watching it, like, oh, actually no, I don't sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got episode 2 Wednesday, so once again, it is the two of us. We have got a potential guest for next week. I'm not gonna say any names yet because I'll put a little bit of a spoiler out on Twitter near the time for you guys to guess. But yeah, that's a plan for next week, hopefully. But this week, once again, you are stuck with the two of us. But we're gonna make it a fun show anyway. So anyway, let's get straight into it then. So
it's probably a good precursor to say that I've been away at conference for 3 days. And I'm still feeling the effects of that, so I'm a little bit delirious. Lovely. So if I just go a bit insane, you just have to allow it.
And we've just demolished the Domino's each as well, so we're in a bit of a food coma at the minute as well. So I'm sure it'll go well anyway. But anyway, it sometimes turns out better when we just waffle anyway. So you never know, do you? So anyway, I thought a good topic to start with, maybe VAR after this weekend, because we've had.
That's heavy for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's heavier than that pizza. There's been quite a few things. Obviously, the weekend we've had the Newcastle versus Arsenal controversy. Tottenham versus Chelsea on the Monday as well. I'll be honest, apart from Rovers, I haven't really watched a lot of football this weekend, but just VAR in general, it just seems like every week at the minute there's some sort of debate on VAR, whether that's positive or negative. So how do you feel about VAR at this present moment?
Even at the time of recording, which is 9:15 on Wednesday the 8th, there's been a VAR officiating controversy with Marcus Rashford. And the United game, everyone's saying it shouldn't have been, and VAR should have done something about it. So it is literally, feels like, I know it's news, but it's not news, is it? Because it literally is every single week at the moment. They talk about VAR more on Match of the Day than they talk about some of the less big Premier League clubs. Like, I'd love to know who gets more of mention, Bournemouth or VAR on Match of the Day each week, and it's probably VAR by quite some margin.
I think it's one of those where you can kind of see, like, people on Match of the Day, they don't want to talk about it, but they kind of have to talk about it because it is like stealing all the limelight, where that should be on, like I say, the clubs and the players. But it's a bit of a shame, because I think we're at the Russia World Cup where it first came in. I think it were a big tournament anyway, and it seemed really good. It seemed like they were using it really well, but then it's just never seemed to work right.
As soon as it made it to the Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they've managed to get it so wrong, because most sports get it right. Like cricket, I've been watching a lot of the Cricket World Cup at the minute with my dad, and they get it spot on. The decision review system, it makes perfect sense. You can hear the umpires talking to each other. You can see every second. It's clear, it's obvious what the crack is. The same with tennis when you went to Wimbledon, so you've seen it there.
Even, like I say, rugby. We watched, like I say, it were Wales-Argentina quarter-final, and
when we were in Malta.
When it does go, when, we do the VAR. When we do the VAR, like, the refs are mic'd up, even when I'm speaking to players, they're mic'd up. And you can hear them talking to the guys in the VAR centre, who can look at the screen and make decisions. And they have like a proper thorough conversation, like saying like this. It's a way we talk to each other as well. We're not just barking like, I think this, well I think this, well that's wrong, well that's wrong. It's they're respectful. They're like, okay, this is my opinion, this is what I saw, and this is why I've given this decision. What's your opinion? And then they'll say theirs, and then they'll kind of have a sensible discussion and come up with the best outcome. Whereas in football, it doesn't seem like that at all.
No, I think they need to think about clear and obvious, because a lot of the decisions, they're not clear or obvious. There's like a toe offside, and it ruins the excitement of celebrating a goal in the Premier League a bit, because you kind of reluctant to celebrate until it's gone to VAR a lot of the time, and I think that really takes a lot of the joy out of it. I hope it never makes it down to our shitty leagues.
In my opinion, it almost seems as if they're trying to find an excuse to rule goals out. In my opinion, it's as if like it's one thing. It's like, okay, that is it offside. Let's get the lines out. Let's see if his toenails in front of the other guy's toenail. No, okay, well, let's have a look at is he now fouling the player. You know, it just seems like it's one thing after another, and it's just killing it. I mean, you're not going to get it perfect. Like I say, that's what referees are for. If we didn't have that, then refs would be out of a job. You know, it should have been, like I say, for clear and obvious. If it's a clear handball or, you know, a clear offside, fair enough. But for those where it's like, you know, it's neck and neck.
A good example of it, where it would have been a good situation to use it, would have been in the Rovers Accrington game at the weekend, where the linesman didn't see that it was offside, but the referee did.
Yeah.
If that had gone far, that would probably have made a good decision because he was miles off.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a need for it, but it doesn't work as it is, and you'd hope that there'll be a review of it at some point. But at the moment, that don't seem likely, does it?
No, not at all. It's just common sense at the end of it. It feels like there's not really any common sense to it anymore.
Doesn't affect us though, does it? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's the beauty of it. It's what's the beauty of it? You'll have them times where you do wish you had VAR, but then obviously there is times where, like I say, it could completely ruin a game down at your level. And yeah, I am glad we've not got it. I mean, I have been to games where it's where they've had it, and you know, they're kind of taking the time out of decisions. And no,
I don't think so.
Ah. Well, I think it was Women's Euros hour where a decision went to VAR. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, we used it was a correct decision as well, and yeah, it was interesting because it weren't used too badly there. I mean, they were breaking play, but not like Newcastle Arsenal at the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when it works, it's good, and but it's just, you know, being consistency, because people have been making mistakes with VAR as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because I know a lot of people want rid of it. I don't think they'll get. I think we're past that. They'll never get rid of it.
Cost too much
the games. I'm going
to
say the game's moving on with the times, and this is just how it is now. It's just now. I think it's going to be a case of, okay, we've got this. What can we do to use it to the best of its ability? And, you know, what do we need to do to just make sure it don't kill the game, which at the minute I think it is doing. Yeah. And it's going in that direction. Right, another thing that's happened last weekend is all the teams have now won in the 92 because Sheffield United have got their first victory of the season, beat Wolves by 2-1 at home, thanks to a last-minute winner. I believe it was a penalty. So yeah, we've got the first win of the season now, and it's going to be interesting if we kick on from there. What do you think?
No, they won't. They're going to get relegated.
Well, that's exactly what I think as well, to be fair. But
sorry,
yeah, no,
I don't like Sheffield United very much.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think it's kind of paper over the cracks at the minute. There's a lot that's wrong at Sheffield United. It's just it's
not a Premier League team.
I'm going to say it's a championship. It's a championship team. And you just feel like they've just not got enough to survive. I mean, we both picked them bottom, I'm sure we did in our predictions. And yeah, I think the rest of the division's just stronger. Even the teams just above them, I think they're stronger as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised they'd actually got a win. I wondered if they'd go the whole stretch not winning any, but they haven't spent any money. They sold all the best players. Their owners are absolute nut job. He's not quite Chansiri, but he's certainly a bit doolally. Forced Chris Wilder out unfairly when he went, and Heckingbottom managing in the Premier League just blows my mind. I just cannot believe it is real. But yeah, I don't think they'll kick on. I'm sure I don't think anybody, not even Sheffield United fans, think they're going to kick on, do they? I mean, you've only got to listen to Radio Sheffield on a night to know how they feel. Yeah.
No, I think it's been one of them before even a ball kick this season. I think everyone kind of had that sense that they'd be doomed. I mean, they sometimes do, like, you get them teams, like ours with Bournemouth last year, like everyone thought they were doomed and then they surprised everyone and stayed up. But I just don't get that feeling with Sheffield United.
No.
At all, no.
Certainly not now. Well, barely got any points. It's not looking good at all.
No, I mean, it's interesting with the Prem now. I mean, it's like you say, that gap between the teams that came up, like, they're struggling, the 3 teams that came up, like, say, Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton. They're all struggling this year. There's usually at least one team. Most seasons, you usually find there's usually 2 that go back down most of the time. Sometimes it's like I say, last season.
Bad, to be honest, that's how little I pay attention to the Premier League.
No, they've been struggling. I mean, I didn't even realise we were on the same points as Sheffield United, to be honest with you. But with same games of won 1, drew 1. Lost 9, both of them.
Wow.
Because I thought Burnley would do okay this year.
Yeah, I mean, they did so well in the Championship last year that you thought they might push on. But it looks like Luton could be the ones that stay up as it stands.
Yeah,
and I'd love that.
I'd love it as well.
It made me so happy.
I think the thing with Burnley is a lot of, like, I mean, there is a big gulf in the difference between Premier and Championship, like bigger than ever now.
With the money they've spent.
But the thing with Burnley is, I think, they're all right going forward, but defensively. I think in the Championship,
Burnley aren't the Burnley they used to be either.
Like I say, they're a very pressing attacking team. In the Championship, you might get away with that against, like, Rotherham and teams like that. But not to pick on Rotherham, but yeah. But then, like, you come up against Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. You're not going to get away with it, and they're going to punish you. Like, very early on in the season, Tottenham beat them 5-1, and we're just defensively, we're just
Tottenham
look clueless.
Silly good though, aren't they? But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see which of Bournemouth and Luton go down. I would love it if it was Bournemouth and not Luton. So for sacking Gary O'Neill, because look how well Wolves are doing now.
It's not really worked. Yeah, Gary O'Neill. Yeah, it's not really worked out for Bournemouth so far. I thought they might be. I don't want to say dark horses, but I thought they might have a decent season. Like I say, your bottom 3 is looking all right at the minute.
The only one I got wrong, I think, was Burnley. I had them a lot higher. We'll see.
Yeah, and I had Wolves a lot lower as well.
Yeah, I think everybody did. But Gary O'Neill, like I said to you a second ago, is a good manager, and Bournemouth were silly to get rid because he did an absolute miracle keeping them up last season, and good on him going and getting Wolves in mid-table when they had an absolute terrible, transfer window and everything like that.
Yeah. One team I do want to touch on quickly is Everton. I know there is a bit of a rumour about having a 12-point deduction for FFP and stuff like that. Breaching that. So obviously at the minute they're on 11 points. If that happens, they'll go to -1 point. And
that'll be so funny.
Yeah. And they're doing better than I thought. There's a bit of a gap between the bottom 4 and the rest of them. There's 5 points.
It's the Sean Dyche effect, isn't it? At the end of the day, grinds out results.
And the goal difference has tightened up quite a bit as well. They're on -4 now.
Since they beat us, they've done quite well, haven't they?
Yeah. Moving into the Championship, it's been interesting. On Friday, Leicester's, like I say, really good form ended with a 1-0 home defeat to Leeds United. Leeds have been an interesting one. They've kind of started the season off slowly, but they're really picking up at the minute. Like I say, there's a bit of a gap between the top 2 at the minute, but Leeds are really chasing that gap down and really trying to close in on Ipswich and Leicester. So, yeah, do you think they'll be up there? And how long do you think it'll take for them to close the gap, if they will?
I think they'll be up there, but I think it's going to be close because Ipswich, although they have dropped some points against Rotherham and Wayne Rooney's Birmingham City, I think that I've never seen a team get promoted from League One and have such an incredible start that even if they have a bit of a drop in form, it won't matter too much. It'll just make it more. Because when you've got Leicester being so prolific at the top, it's kind of a bit boring. Like Burnley last year. Yeah. Oh, they've won the league already. Great, it's interesting. It's because they've got loads of money. And that just bores me. I'd much rather the playoff and second automatic spot race be interesting and entertaining. And as much as I dislike Leeds, it's just nice to have a bit of excitement at the top of the table in what has been a league that Leicester have run away with, basically.
Yeah.
I really like their front 3. Is it Somerville?
Yeah.
He's scoring all the goals. It's funny,
been
isn't it?
superb
Because
so
when
far.
we went to Ellen Road in the Cup, they were shit. I thought they were absolutely terrible.
They weren't. I was going to say that time when we went, which were first rounds, like first few weeks of the season.
It was just after Parker had come in one time.
Yeah, they weren't like they were struggling, and that carried on for a few weeks. But the last month or so, they have just been on fire, and they've just, like I say, they've just been winning game after game. They had a bit of a blip away at Stoke, but then again, it would
happens to everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think it might have been a Wednesday actually, but like anyway, a cold night in Stoke. It's basically you're guaranteed to lose 3 points. So but yeah, Ipswich, like I say, they've drawn the last 2 games. They drew on Saturday, like you said, away at Birmingham, and then away at Rotherham on the Tuesday as well.
Shout out to Ian Bradley, who must be a very happy man after that. A point against Ipswich. 90 plus 1 minute equaliser from Rotherham as well. Be happy with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, when you're down there as well, you need kind of all the points you can get. I mean, they draw, like I say, they've also drawn 2 in a row as well. They've got a draw against another team down there, QPR.
They've got points over people you wouldn't expect. They had got a draw against Southampton as well, didn't they? Because when we played Stockport away, we bumped into Ian in Stockport train station. He was like, "We've got a bloody point against Southampton at Southampton," and he was so excited. And it's them like little nosebleed moments that make being a team like Rotherham worthwhile. In those, when you're fighting against it, getting those kind of points and upsetting people is what you kind of, it's your raison d'etre, isn't it?
Definitely. And speaking of them teams down there, back down to earth with a bit of a bump Wednesday, unfortunately. They had a 1-0 loss away at Bristol City. But
manageless at the time, Bristol City.
It's one of them Wednesday. I think it didn't seem as negative after that loss. I mean, it still felt quite optimistic under, like I say, Danny Roll. Obviously, we had the first win next season against Rotherham. It just seems like under him compared to Cisco, it does seem a bit better. I don't know if you've noticed a change at all.
I have, but I think it'll be short-lived because of Chancery.
Oh, I agree. Like I say, it's the unknown wheel. And like I say, when you have problems off the pitch, they always tend to filter to on the pitch. You can only stop it for so long. So yeah, he's got a tough job in his hands, but like I say, it's highly rated, but I just don't think it'll be enough.
No, and it's whether they stick with him when they get relegated as well.
Yeah, exactly. You
know how trigger happy he is, Transferry. So.
Yeah, definitely. Right, last Friday we were talking about managerial sackings. This time we're mainly talking about managerial hiring. So one of the teams I mentioned not long ago, Bristol City, like I say, they got rid of Pearson, which were a topic last week. However, they have now brought in Oxford United manager Liam Manning into the club. So, like I say, he leaves Oxford, who are in second place in League One, to join the Robins. What's your opinion on this appointment?
I think it's a really good appointment. As much as I think they should have sacked Pearson, I don't think they're going to get a manager who will do a better job than Liam.
Yeah, I think it's a really good appointment. I
feel sorry for Oxford fans because it's like the best they've done in years and years and years. And we know how that feels. It seems to happen to us quite a lot at Rovers, but club like Bristol City, you can't really.
They've been superb, Oxford, this year. They've it's been weird because a lot of their fans have been predicting them to be up there, and a lot of people predicting had them like just outside the playoffs, which is where I put them as well. But they've surprised everyone. Them and Pompey have kind of been, they've been running away with it a bit. But it's going to be interesting now of Oxford. But like I say, Manning going to Bristol City. I think it were, like you said, unfortunate with Pearson. It's been fantastic there. But we brought Manning in. It does make you think as well, because it happened quite decently quickly anyway. You wonder maybe were the chats going on before they got rid of Pearson, because it seemed a bit of a weird one getting rid of him.
Especially after how well he's done there and how long he's been there and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about other day, there were only 2 managers who's been there for over 2 years.
And now only
Mark Robbins.
Left now.
Yeah, I was going to say him and Mark Robbins, Nigel Pearson were the other 2, but one's gone, so Mark Robbins is the last man standing there. And
I think he'll be there for a long time too.
Yeah.
Whether Alcov do, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say they are struggling, but like I said, I can't see that being enough to get rid of him. Like I say, Oxford now there's a managerial vacancy remaining at Oxford. Any thoughts on who you think will get it?
We were talking about this last night, weren't we? There's so few out of work managers who you'd take. I feel like My suggestion was the Cowley brothers.
Yeah.
But I think there's just this. I've just got this feeling they're going to go back to Lincoln. Maybe someone like Neil Harris.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they'll bring Carl Robinson back.
I know they were linking the Notts County manager with him.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting, and that'd be great news for us because it'll probably make County less good.
And
it'll probably give Thingy Langstaff more of a chance of moving in January because he might go to Oxford.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
His gaffer.
I mean,
that would be excellent.
They've already got Ruben Rodriguez. He went from County to Oxford last year, so he'll be reunited with him. So
fine by me. Sell all the players and managers. Perfect. One more place at the top.
What's that? Bostock to Oxford.
God, can you imagine?
Jesus. And also we had Bradford. We've got Graham Alexander now at the wheel. Bit of an interesting appointment. This I weren't expecting this. Obviously, it sounded like Danny Cowley were going there, but then he turned, just like Johnny Williams earlier in summer. He turned him down at the last minute. It sounded like
how many hotels have these fuckers bought for people who aren't signing for?
Just don't give him a night in Bradford before they sign. It's the easiest way. But no, it sounded like family reasons for the Cowleys.
I think they're going to end up back in Lincoln. I just have this feeling.
I've been thinking that as well. All fans want them back.
It gives me that like Grant McCann with us vibe, where like there's unfinished business there. They went to Huddersfield. It wasn't the right move for them. They've realised that now. It's not worked anywhere else really. Now it will be a good time for them to come back to one another, and I'd be really happy about it because we live in Lincolnshire, so it's always nice for the county when when your clubs like your Scunnies and your Grimsby's are struggling to have at least one that's doing all right. It only benefits the area. But yeah, I don't know. Like I say, there's not that many out of work managers. Neil Harris is one I'm expecting to go somewhere else soon, or whether someone will come in for a Pete Wild or Phil Parkinson or someone like that. You don't know, do you?
Yeah, I was going to say there's still the Bristol Rovers vacancy, I believe. I've not heard on that since. But yeah, there's still that job available, so...
Maybe Manager Pearson will get it. Don't have to move house.
I was going to say. Pretty simple.
And there's QPR job as well. I think that's going to be Warnock. I'd put a fair bit of money on Warnock getting that job.
Yeah, I can see that, to be fair.
Just classic him, innit?
Yeah, a bit like Huddersfield last year, and it come into a club and just
pull them out, disappear again, do it again next year with Rotherham or whoever.
Yeah, but I think they're fucked. I think QPR are fucked.
Maybe he went where they don't want to ruin his record.
Yeah, but... Yeah, like I said, we talked about the sackings last week, the incomings this week. It's all go up a minute, and like I say, there's a few clubs still yet to fill that vacancy, but the majority have been filled now.
And I think there's also a fair few clubs who are maybe a loss or two away from managers being dismissed.
Any in particular you're thinking of?
Derby County.
Yeah, that was the same as me.
Swindon as well.
Yeah.
That's not going very well for them.
I mean, I work with a Swindon fan, he's not happy at all.
Not bless him.
Yeah.
That's true.
Poor Trev. Yeah.
Matt Taylor at Rotherham as well. Depending on what happens. Yeah, I know Ian wants him gone.
He does.
This week, anyway. He changes mind next week.
Yeah, I think Paul won. I think he saved his sen on Saturday, to be fair. So we're 2-0 down at Crewe, and then we're going to talk about the FA Cup in a sec, but we're 2-0 down at Crewe, and then came back 2-2 so we a late goal as well, so that'd have been an interesting one, because I said on my prediction I thought Crewe would win 1-0, and that'd be the game where he got sacked, but he lives to fight another day.
They actually did a Crewe, didn't they? Coming back to equalise.
They did a Crewe to Crewe.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, they've gone to a replay. So week on Tuesday, and he's one name, like you say. Who have the other one that you said?
Matt Taylor at Rotherham. And Michael Flynn at Swindon.
Michael Flynn, yeah, I can see that. Swindon just seeming a bit of a mess at the minute.
I think what Michael Flynn needs is his players. Sorry.
All right, chill. Shout, chill. So we've also had the FA Cup last weekend, and with some interesting, like I say, some interesting fixtures and some interesting scorelines. Which in particular caught your eye?
Let me just find it. It was Swindon 4, Aldershot Town 7.
11 goal thriller.
Aldershot were 7-0 up by 58 minutes.
Crazy, isn't it? I saw someone say, so I was just on Twitter while we were at football, And I just saw Aldershot's Twitter account say it's 7. And I'm straight in my head, I was just thinking it must be an under 18s match or something like that. Or, another match where, like, sometimes, like I say, the standard of play is like, 2 teams that shouldn't be playing each other, a bit like England and San Marino or something like that. So I went and had a look. I went to see how we were playing, and it was bloody FA Cup against League 2 Swindon Town at Swindon. And I was I was just speechless. I was just like, because the guy who my dad works with is a Swindon fan. So I've got a bet on a bottle of gin, whoever finishes higher, at the end of the season. So I just showed my dad it, and we're like, what? So he just texted me a laughing face, and literally as soon as he texts that, Accrington equalised against us. So yeah, but
oh dear.
Yeah,
that's the one that shocked me. I'm just looking at the rest of the results. There's quite a few where lower league teams managed to get draws with league opposition.
Yeah, what I want to talk about quite a bit for a few reasons is Barnsley versus Horsham. So that actually finished 3-3, which is pretty mad. Horsham's in the 8th tier, which is very low. My local village team, Roslington Main, that's for step above them. It's crazy. But yeah, the thing that I was a bit disappointed with, we were playing on a Friday night due to South Yorkshire Police. I understand it because the reason was Donny, Sheffield United and Rotherham were all at home on the Saturday. So you can't really have 4 South Yorkshire teams at home on the same day against each other. It's just, policing wise, it's just not doable. It's a shame they didn't make it a Sunday. But yeah, made it a Friday. And for those that don't know, Horsham is basically like the town next door to Crawley, which is like past London. It's kind of between London and Brighton.
Miles
so it's probably about 4-hour drive.
What time did we get back when we went to Crawley away?
3:00.
Yeah, so that's a good indication because we live near Barnsley and Horsham's near Crawley. So that's like 4 or 5 hours on the motorway trying to get through London to get there. It's a fucking nightmare. Is it Gatwick or Heathrow? It's near Gatwick. I want to say.
Yeah, Gatwick. Yeah.
A long way away.
Blimey. I mean, the thing is, as well as that, it's not just for fans. It's like the 8th tier. All the players are part time, so which means they'll have other jobs as well. So it's like I say, one getting it off work, like I say, for like a first responder or something like that. That's not, you're not going to be able to, or certain jobs you won't be able to do that. It's having to travel up there on a Friday night, like you say. And the fans as well. It's not like, a big club where it's easy to do that. It's not easy, especially when you're used to playing pretty regional football against like teams not too far away from you. To have to do that on a Friday night is pretty tough. But then again, the Barnsley's got to do it against them on a Tuesday night. Now they've got to come down to Horsham and get a result, which won't be easy.
No. Definitely not, because they'll be so up for it. I think that's the thing. It's the lower league teams are so up for it. But yeah, it's just crazy, is it? And Charlton as well, getting a replay with Cray Valley Paper Mills, Slough Town getting a replay against Grimsby.
Yeah. Shout out to my former flatmate. He's playing at Slough now. He started in that game.
Amazing. Scarborough Athletic getting a replay with Forest Green. Ramsgate beating National League Woking. There's loads of upset results, and that's great. That's what it's all about for me.
The Cray Valley one is superb. It's a bit like my local team, Roslington Main, playing Doncaster Rovers. Literally between the grounds was 7 miles. So it
was a Charlton own goal as well.
Must be a dream.
Equaliser.
Yeah, must be an absolute dream. Trying to think of one. Yeah, Scarborough. But it didn't. It's a weird one with Scarborough because it didn't. It just felt like one of them games where it could be a cup set from the start. That one.
Yeah. I know. My heart goes out to my friend Ray, who's a Charlton fan who travels from Lincolnshire to every Charlton game. I cannot imagine how depressing it must have been on that drive back from Charlton to
a tough one.
Corringham on Sunday night.
Jesus. Yeah. But which game were we on about then? Forest Green. Yeah. I just kind of sensed a cup set, and it took a very late equaliser from Forest Green to get them level. But like you say, especially when we're at home, the lower teams at home, it's really difficult for like a team that's expected to win to go to somewhere where, like I say, the whole community's come out and they're going to make it a fortress Because it's like you say, they do say it's your cup final. It literally is your cup final playing against these teams that you never get to play against usually.
Yeah, and I think as well as that, with it being the first and second round, Scarborough, there might be Leeds fans that have gone. There might be some Hull City fans that have gone. Yeah. York, well, I guess York were in the, the hat, but it's like those local fans. You do go and support your little local non-league team. I mean, we do it, don't we? And that's such a nice community thing. You know, it's nice to see, especially the local ones doing well. Definitely.
Are there any other games that kind of caught your eye? I
don't think so.
No.
I think we should just talk about Donny next.
Yeah, let's move on to Donny then. It's a good segue into it. So, since last Friday, we've played 2 games so far, both from cup games. So we had 2 cup games in 2 different tournaments. Starting with last Saturday, we had our FA Cup first round draw against Accrington Stanley, which...
Exactly.
So we drew 2-2 to Accrington Stanley, which I'll come on to in a sec. And the other game was just last night as we're recording this, which was Tuesday night, where we beat Burton Albion 2-1 in the now newly named Bristol Street Motors Trophy.
I have a question about that.
Go for it.
How can they rename a cup halfway through the cup?
Sponsorship must have ended.
Yeah, but it's midway through the tournament. Wait until May. When it's done.
I might be wrong on this, but I have a feeling we did the same when we did it with Papa John's.
Maybe. I don't know. It just seems really fucking...
Were it Select Car Leasing?
No, it were Checkatrade.
Checkatrade, that were it, yeah.
For quite a while.
Checkatrade, that was one.
But I'm sure that we're actually in the summer.
Yeah, it might have been.
I don't know. It just seems like such a weird time. It's like, why aren't Papa John's just giving it until May? Or decided they didn't want to do it in August when the cup started. I mean, we've been playing these bloody games all season, and it's just strange to me that they did it mid-season. And I don't know, very weird. It just makes it look even more bloody tin pot than it already is.
Anyway, unbeaten, 100% record in Bristol, whatever you call it.
Bristol Street Motor as well, because there's been one game in it.
The EFL Trophy, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we'll come back to that in a sec. We'll go to the FA Cup first. It's like I say, 2-2 draw against Accrington Stanley. What were your thoughts on the game?
I think we were very, very unlucky not to win. You put away your chances, you should have been 4 or 5 up at half time. I mean, shout out to our friends Tom and Ben, who probably don't remember any of the football, but it was a good game. We've played really well first half. We have chance after chance after chance, and then Accrington just capitalised on 2 defensive errors and ended up taking it back to the Wham Stadium. But I'm confident, because we've got no game this Saturday after that game, that we'll put everything into it. We'll really throw the kitchen sink at them, and hopefully get Peterborough away in the next round. Hopefully they beat Salford and we get a nice trip to London Road out of it.
Yeah, it's a frustrating one, because I kind of think if you did put them chance away, you go 2 or 3-0 up. You're outside, you've not given Accrington that chance to come back into it, but because it was only 1 goal, you're still very much in it, and they, like I say, just needed that bit of momentum, and they're back in it. Like the first 20, 25 minutes, we dominated. Like we should have been, literally, I'm not even exaggerating, we should have been 3-0 up. Their keeper, he played so well. He made 2 saves from point blank range where he somehow managed to get a hand to it.
Is there a match day vlog where you can watch that?
Yes, I will link it, or you can go back 2 videos and watch it. Which please do that. Get the views up, get to 1,000 subs. But I was going to say after that, Accrington got back into it. But didn't really. I think we only had 1 chance in first half, but you could kind of tell they were starting to put the pressure on and get a foot in the game. Yeah. And then second half, they were a better team. They did, like I say, they should have. Well, they did score, but were offside. But that should have been a warning sign. It were offside. Watching it back, but after that,
from it and then concede.
It were just a couple of minutes later.
We were too busy moaning about it still, and then suddenly we were back to 1-1.
And then, like I say, Harrison Biggins won the goal as well. He doesn't score tap-ins, scores Wildies. But it's 2-1 up, and like I say, then you've got that lead back, shut up shop, and switch on. But then we conceded from a very poor set play. Very poor set piece. It were some basic error. We played it, like I say, it was one of them that don't usually beat the first man, but their players got in front at first man and slotted it in, and 2-2, and we go to Accrington next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll beat them. I think I've got a feeling. I say that.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling. You never know which cup. That's the thing.
I want that Ferguson McCann away day in Peterborough. It's a great stadium. You've never
I've
been.
never done it. It's one I want to do as well.
We tend to beat them at their place. You know, I've seen us win 3-0 there. I've seen us win them, beat them on Boxing Day. I just think it would be such a nice tie, and I'll be so happy if we got it. So I'm really hoping that the boys use that Saturday off where the Walsall game has been postponed and go at them and just beat them, because we can. We've shown that we are better than they are, so we've just got to do it again. Yeah,
because no offence, I'd rather go to Peterborough Rovers than Rosenton Main versus Pickering. So come on Rovers, let's get that away tie at Peterborough. But anyway, one cup we're definitely still in is the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, which I got right this time. We have officially qualified for knockout stages. So, like I say, we had 2-1 win against Burton at the Eco Power. Pretty decent performance. Like I say, we've gone through. I didn't think we'd go through on the night. I thought it pretty much impossible. If Burton win, they would have gone through. But what I didn't see were Mansfield losing to Everton's under-21s.
Is that their first loss?
In all competitions? No, they lost to Port Vale in Carabao Cup, and then not Leeds, Wrexham in the FA Cup. But apart from that, like I say, still unbeaten in the league. So that means Bimfree are all on 3 points, we're on 6 points, and we've still got Mansfield and Burton left to play each other, which means, like I say, both of them can't catch us, only one of them at the most can catch us, so we've qualified. It's basically the case now of if we're going to win the group or come second. If we win, we get home tie. If we come second, then we are away to one of the other northern group winners.
Yeah, exciting. So, I didn't go, so I don't feel like I can really comment. My only thing I wanted to ask you about, and I know it's going back to the FA Cup, booing at full time. You spoke about it on the 72 review on Sunday night. Plug to Dapper's channel. It's great content. And I just think we need to stop that behaviour now before it gets any worse, because how can you justify booing with everything that's happened in the last few months? There's been such a transformation, and we really do need to just have a hard look at ourselves if people think that that's the right thing to do. A draw against a 7th in the league in the cup, it seems, with all the injuries we've got as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have short memories in football. It's one of them. You can win 10 games in a row, you're worshipped, and then you lose a few in a row, and everyone wants your head. It's just one of the industries, I think, and it's a shame to see. But like you say, some people just have such short memories. I mean, look at us compared to end of last season to where we are now. But yeah, it is a shame. Hopefully, like I say, we can go to Accrington and beat them. Like I say, through in the I hate this new cup, Bristol Street Motors Cup.
The car cup.
Yeah, the Brum Brum Cup. So we're through in that anyway. I thought second half played well. First half, I think Burton had better of the ball, but we didn't do anything attacking wise, really, with the ball. And yeah, they did. But like I said, we had the better chances in the first half, and then second half, both teams picked up again, but we were just better. We made quite a few changes, 3 changes at half time, and we never really looked in trouble. Like I say, I think we were only shot on target of the game. It were a lovely strike, to be fair, to get them back into it, but just never seemed like we were going to lose that game, to be fair.
My highlight of the game from watching on iFollow was when Mo Farah had a shot and it went out for a throw-in.
That was amazing.
Even the commentary box were laughing at it. It was incredible. I think, it does make me laugh, Mo Farah. He was so tired by the end of it, but what a player. Oh, he's superb. He's reason he was so tired, he was just going after everything. He was superb. He just chased like a dog.
He was my man at match. He just chased everything down. Like I say, his legs just wouldn't work at the end. They were like Bambi on ice, unfortunately, but bless him.
More so than usual.
Yeah, but no, wonderful. Like I say, wonderful to see us win that game, because it could have been a bit of a banana skin that game, but we did the job, and we've gone through to the next round.
And wouldn't it be nice to have a really good run in it? I know people boycott it and stuff, but if you get that trip to Wembley,
oh yeah,
what next? You know, I still think about when we went to the Johnson Paint Trophy final and won it, and I would love to have something like that again. It would just be amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for something different then. So this is where we're going to pick something that's not kind of like at the top of your BBC Sport pages, but maybe something that's funny or different, or maybe a new story that you might not have heard of. So I started last week, so you can start this week, Lizzie. What is your something different?
So I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about that have either amused me or warmed my heart somewhat, and triggered what I think might be a good discussion. So the first thing that just made me laugh was the Arsenal youth team game being postponed on Saturday because the team bus went to Bournemouth instead of Brighton.
It makes you just wonder, doesn't it? Were it just a typo in maps? Have we just?
It's proper Paul Mayfield behaviour, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
How? I just don't get it. How do you? I'm stumped for words. How do you think you're playing against Bournemouth, but you're playing against Brighton? I don't like what like from London. One's that way. One's
but they're both
that
down,
way.
aren't they?
I know, but
I could say it's Mayfield behaviour.
And how did you've got a coach full of players, staff? How did not one person on that coach not think? Hang on a minute. Brighton's that way.
I like
Why are we going this way?
I liked it.
I just don't get.
Imagine when they got there. What did they do? Imagine. Where is everyone?
Probably just saw the beach and like, yeah, we're here. And then
the mums and dads are at Brighton waiting for him.
At lunch and that. I don't get how not one person on that coach couldn't have thought like, hang on a minute, I've checked the fixtures.
They're not known for their brains, though, are they, football?
No, but surely one, like, you have certain players, I'd be one of them, where you just know all your fixtures and everything like that. How does not one person on that coach not think,
this isn't right.
This isn't Brighton?
Yeah, God knows.
What's going on?
God knows, but it just amused me.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to talk about, and it basically came from the good news that our friend and mascot, Donny Dog, as Claire Bailey had returned from hospital this week. And it just got me thinking about mascots. And I just wanted to talk to you about what's your favourite mascot of football. Because mine is Sutton United's giraffe. I fucking love that mascot. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's got a little scarf. It's got a long neck. It's amazing. And I just think, with it being minute silence time as well, it's the time that mascots shine the most. In the month of November when they're all stood smiling. One of the last post plays, I just think it's brilliant.
One of mine's, I don't know why it could come back to bite us. We're potentially playing him soon. Peterborough.
Yeah, I was just going to say Peterborough. Amazing. He's got a carrot. He's got like a stuffed carrot.
I can't wait to tell him he can shove his carrot up his arse if we went away. Sideways, exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he always gives it big to the away fans, does Peterborough. But then Donny Dog used to do that back in the day when it ran the line.
I remember him used to mooning the away fans.
When it ran the line, he used to cock his leg up on goalposts.
Yep.
When we used to travel away. They were, I think mascots are such a great thing, and they just make me laugh that.
You were probably there. Can you remember when Forest Rovers, when Robin Hood and Donny Dog had a race?
Yeah. Is that the City Ground?
Yeah, the City
When
Ground,
they had that family, that mixed seating stand. Yeah, we were there for that. I love mascot races. When was the last time you saw a mascot race?
They used to have massive ones, didn't they?
Yeah, they used to get like mascots from Flamingo Land and all sorts of people come to Rovers and do it, and they just don't have them anymore. I think it's really sad because mascots are hilarious. They are just objectively funny. Like when Cyril the Swan got arrested, banned from being a mascot. That's hilarious because you were fighting the Millwall mascot. Oh yeah, amazing. Everything about mascots makes me laugh. I think like Scunny Bunny is hilarious. Shout out to Gunnosaurus as well, who nearly got took off the payroll. Harry the Hammer, he's one of my favourites. Mesut Ozil saved him, but it's just there's such a big part of football, especially when you're a kid. I mean, I've got a Donny Dog plush toy from when I was like 3, and then Adam got me one last year, and I just think they mean so much, not just for younger fans, they're just a bit of fun, aren't they? And I do think that there's something missing with mascots now. Like, I loved Sutton's one, because it was just something a bit different. And I don't know, we should have more mascot races, we should have more dizzy penalties against mascots.
I've got something to say on this as well. Worst mascot. I can't even. This is how bad it was. I can't even remember what it was. But at Barrow, I went to shake Mascot's hand, and then he saw my badge and refused to shake my hand. I would just talk to. I was like good seeing in fan zone. He stuck his hand out like that, and then saw my badge, pointed to the badge, and he was just like, no, and walked off. I put his thumb down. I was like, what? Oh.
I love that. That's exactly the kind of thing Mascots should be doing. Right. They should be coming and giving it large to the away fans, and taking all the abuse. It just makes me laugh. Captain Cod is another one I rate. Like, he gets right into the atmosphere at Fleetwood away, and I just think Mascots. I want to talk about Mascots. With the good news about our friend Claire, I think it's something to talk about and something to,
definitely
to reflect on.
Definitely.
What do you have to bring to the table?
What do I have to bring to the table? Yes. So, I want to talk about away days. We have a London away day coming up this Saturday, which I'm very excited for. Like I say, we don't get many each season, but basically we've done both. The London clubs in our league this year are Wimbledon and Sutton. We've already done both of them. We said we'd probably do one and not the other, so both decided on Wimbledon. And it's coming up this Saturday, so you look forward to it?
I feel existential dread about Wimbledon away because I just know it's going to be a car crash. Even last time I went to Wimbledon, went on the bus and still ended up absolutely steaming. It's such a fun day out, and I don't think my bank account's ready. I don't think my mental health's ready. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it should be good.
Early train drinks. London, good pubs, good atmosphere. Everybody's going on the train. It's a big, most of the Donny fans are travelling. No strikes, no sitting on a bloody train for 3 hours because the lines are shut like we did on the way to Sutton. I just think we'll have a really good day. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. What is like your fit? Is there a certain like club or town that you see that you look for as the away day, or one that you remember the most?
So for me, for a long time, it was always Blackpool or Fleetwood I looked for, because I just love the seaside. Anyone's on the coast, so your Grimsbys, your Blackpools, your Fleetwoods, your Southend's, I always look forward to. Any of those in big cities.
Just before we move on to the next one, if you go to Fleetwood, what's the name of the bar
Jim's
again?
Bar.
Jim's Bar. It's actually attached to the stadium. They'll let away fans in. Highly recommend it. I know some avoid like the stadiums at the bars at the stadium, but very good.
The good thing about Fleetwood away is you can go to Blackpool, you can drink in Blackpool. There's 2 big Wetherspoons. You can enjoy it there. You can enjoy the seaside atmosphere, fish and chips, slot machines, whatever you want to do. Ride a donkey, and then you can get a tram, which is like the most Blackpool thing ever. Straight to Fleetwood's ground, stagger off the tram, straight to Jim's Bar. Cheap drinks, great music. Captain Cod's there, giving it large, getting into the atmosphere. Away fans are welcome. It's one of the best trips of the season, and I really hope they get relegated.
I really enjoy Fleetwood.
I hope they get relegated so we can play them next year.
Nah, we're gonna go up.
Well, either way,
us go up, them stay up.
Yeah, that's the dream. But yeah, I think Fleetwood. I always look at for big cities as well. Your Manchesters, your Londons, because you can always make a good day of it then.
Yeah.
I love Oldham away. I love Rochdale away. Your Greater Manchester games. I think they're both brilliant days out. I've had some fantastic memories going there with my dad over the years, and my brother and my godfather, and just good pies, good chippies, good vibes. Anywhere that we win a lot as well. Scunny. Love going to Scunny because we never lose there.
I was about to say Grimsby. Another one on the coast.
Yeah.
Like we say. That were really good away day. It's always an interesting one because it's a bit of a local derby, which can sometimes be a bad thing because it does bring a lot of the dickheads out. But no, really good day. Like I say, you've got Papa's Fish and Chips on the pier. You've got good decent pubs, like I say. The sea, just I
love the seaside.
Yeah, it's it's freezing, and we always get them at an awful time of year as well. But,
I won't want them in the summer.
True.
Where's the fun in that? You want to get piss wet through.
True. Well, Grimsby's always one I look for as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for debate this then. So what this is going to be is we're going to ask each other. We have no idea what the other person is going to say. We're going to ask either a question, a topic that we can debate, or something along them lines. So I'm going to go first then. So as we all know, a big part of any football experience is the food, the footy scrum, whatever you want to call it. I've had some great footy scrum over the years. I've had some absolutely terrible footy scrum over the years. So I want to know, what is the best and worst food you've had at the football?
Does it have to be physically in the stadium, or can it be in the vicinity? Like, can it be nearby?
Let's split it into two. Let's start with concourse. So actually in the stadium, once you've paid to get in, best and worst.
It's the pies at Accrington Stanley.
Ooh.
The best pie I have ever had.
Oh, we're looking forward to trying one of them.
Steak and peppercorn pie. So peppery. It's in every bite. Homemade by a local company. Oh my God.
I'm looking forward to trying that this season.
I've had a large pizza tonight and I could eat that now. It is my favourite thing I've ever had at football. ever.
Lovely. About worst in the concourse, so Wiener Ground.
Probably at Rovers, to be honest with you. Rovers. I had a pie that were frozen in the middle at Morecambe away once. That was pretty shit. In January time. Probably Rovers. I mean, I've had some horrible food at Rovers in my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say my frozen pie or Crew away, because they don't have the best food selection inside the ground. Warm beer, crap pies. I just remembered the worst one.
Go.
Hartlepool away last season. Them chips that your dad had. I feel sick just thinking about them. You know when
that was bad.
Well, I got the last burger in the concourse for my dad because he hadn't eaten all day and come straight from work. So I made a mission to go and get a burger for my dad. Dad had a burger. It were all right. Your dad had the last chips in the stadium. And you could just smell that they hadn't changed oil since war. It fucking reeked of old oil. And just smelling them made me feel sick. I had to stand about 3 foot away from you while your dad ate them chips. They were absolutely disgusting. Awful. I know I didn't eat them, but that's the worst food I've ever seen, ever had to experience.
Yeah. Right, now let's go in like the vicinity.
Rochdale Chippy.
Rochdale Chippy, yeah.
You knew that was coming, I think.
Yeah.
Closely followed by Cruise Chippy. I love a good Rochdale Chippy. Is some sort of like myth if you're a football fan. It is the best thing about going to Rochdale. The curry sauce is superb. The chips are amazing. They've got warm Vimto, which is proper Manchester staple. You know, it is just amazing. I think they must make a killing because the queues are right down the road. I wonder if it even bothers opening when the football's not on. Probably not.
Probably after, like so.
It's unbelievable. The best food ever. So good. I cannot wait for them to get eventually promoted back to the Football League so I can go back.
So I can try it. I've not tried it yet.
I'd
look forward
I'd go now. I love them.
Yeah.
What a place.
Right, so best one for me. Best food. I feel like I should give some honourable mentions. Top of my list has got to be a steak and peppercorn pie also at FC United of Manchester. That was unbelievable. Like pretty much everything you described about Accrington, but in at FC United.
I mean, they're not far away. Maybe it's the same.
No, I'm going to say it could be. It very much could be. Yeah, that was delicious. Some honourable mentions. Stockport, their pies are ridiculous.
They are. Chicken balti pie with black sesame seeds on top. That's the mark of a good chicken balti pie.
Amazing.
If they've got them on, it's always going to be a good pie.
Amazing. To be fair, gotta give I did, yeah. To be fair, gotta give Donny the Jew for really up the game. Last season was some of the worst I've ever seen, but this season they really have up the game. The food is so nice. If you haven't tried the sweet chili chicken loaded fries, highly recommend. Bit pricey, but I'd rather pay a bit extra than pay for an overpriced, dry, disgusting burger.
I wouldn't know because I've always run out by half time when I want to get something in the West Stand. But every time I've gone wanting something, they've never had what I wanted, and then I'm always a bit miserable about it afterwards.
Worst? Probably say quite a few here, to be fair.
We've had some shockers in
There's been some shockers. Yeah.
Can I have another honourable mention?
Go on.
Retford United chips and curry. That's what I want now. That is, oh my god.
Oh.
So far, aren't we?
Yeah, so good. Right, worst. There's a few that stick to mind. Nuneaton Borough, when we went to Rovers went there in a friendly. I got a burger from there. It were awful. One of them, where the foil is like stuck to the burger.
Oh,
it's like burnt onto the burger.
I thought of another honourable mention for you as well.
Go on.
Stevenage Borough Burger.
Oh,
so good.
I forgot about the Borough Burger.
Shout out to Dean, the SLO, for banging on about that for years. So I made sure Adam got one.
That's
that was good.
That's close to FC United,
Yeah.
It's hard because that's a burger and FC's a pie.
No, I think you can have multiple winners.
I don't know. I'd probably still put FC just above it.
Yeah.
But wow.
What a good time.
Good pick.
Shout out to Dean.
Good pick.
Good recommendation from my mate Dean there.
Right, anyway, back to worst. Nuneaton Borough, yeah, like I say, foil burnt burger, that was not a nice one. There's been some...
As an ex-McDonald's employee, nothing stresses me out than shit burgers.
I'm trying to think there's been some awful ones. Rovers, like you say, I've mentioned them at best, we've also had something worse. Shout out to Bradford. I was starving, went to get some food at half time, I'd run out of hot food and most cold food to end up with some beef, Seabrooks crisps and a Snickers bar.
I'd starve. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. That's the worst. Oh my god. Scunny as well. They had nothing except the vegan pies. Oh god.
Yeah, that weren't great. Trying to think off the top of my head. There's been some shockers. There's been some absolute shockers. I can't remember specifically what club it were, but I can remember one where basically I got a steak and ale pie, and the base were burnt to the bottom of the tray. I could not
physically. Where was that?
It's gonna bug me now with that word. I can't remember for the life of me, but it will physically burn to the bottom of it.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I cannot remember, but yeah, they're probably my picks.
I think that's its own separate video,
I'm gonna say I have thought about doing that. I'll have to get me research done for that, so I can really put a good video.
I can't remember for the life of me where it was. It were I didn't have chicken balls in. It's like, oh, we've got a spicy one though, and it was a Mexican bean pie. And it was fucking awful. One of the worst things I've ever had. I think I had about 4 bites of it and I just sort of quietly put it in the bin and went and got a steak one. So yeah.
One last honourable mention for food. Chesterfield, that one at Best Pies. And what I like about Chesterfield, it's probably similar to FC United as well. It was from a local bakery. They provided the food.
Nice.
Yeah, that were really.
Is that catering stand still called Big Owls in the away end? I don't know.
I weren't away because I was neutral, but I think it might be.
Because that made me laugh because it's my dad's name. Just like that. No. But I don't think I've ever eaten at Chesterfield. I think we got a KFC outside the ground last time.
I was going to say, it's like literally next door, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, on to your debate with then.
Okay. So this is it's kind of based on a little bit of a theme we've had in this one of cup competitions. So obviously the last 2 weeks we've had Carabao Cup quarterfinals, we've had the FA Cup first round proper, we've had group stage games in the EFL Trophy, we've had Champions League, Europa Conference League fixtures. They're all happening, they're all cup competitions. Now it seems to me that it's a much more popular opinion nowadays that these competitions are pointless, that they should be scrapped because they are affecting Premier League teams with their squads of 70. Because there's too many games. And I just wondered whether you think the magic of the cup is still there, or whether you agree with the likes of Klopp and Pep and those gentlemen who believe that we should scrap them.
My opinion. So, I think it's completely still there. But I think it's different now than what it were 20, 30, 40 years ago. I think, my opinion, I think it's now one of them things. FA Cup used to be the biggest football occasion of the year. It used to be, like I say, it was a full day of coverage all the way, and it was like your premier competition. Now, it's more, your storylines, your non-league clubs like your Marine getting a home tie against Tottenham. Like I say, smaller teams coming through the ranks, beating the smaller teams, getting to the big the big ties. Like Boreham won a few years ago, getting to the last 16 from a National League and playing away at Everton. Us getting a game against Crystal Palace at home. You know, it's games like that. But I think towards the top end, I think the magic has gone. I think a lot see it as an inconvenience now, and it's not got the same prestige as it used to have. But then for the smaller teams, that's what it's all about.
It's everything, and I find it. And the reason I bring it up is because I find it incredibly frustrating that 6 teams at the top's opinion of the tournament makes people want to completely reformat it and potentially scrap the League Cup and things like that. I'm so anti that, because some of the best days of my footballing life are games where we've had the big boys in the cup. You know, going back to the early 2000s against Man City, Aston Villa, Arsenal. You know, later on in life against your Stokes when they were in the Premier League, Crystal Palace's West Ham during COVID, Arsenal away. You know, some of the most exciting days out I've had with Doncaster Rovers have been because of the cup, and I think it's naive to forget that there are 72 clubs, even more than that if you look at the non-league ones who get to the first round proper or further in the FA Cup, that they need it. And it makes me upset that those at the top don't see that, you know, because it is so big to the little guys, and without those little teams, the ones at the top wouldn't be able to exist, because where would they, you know, where would they get the talent from? Where would they get that community thing, the feeling from? You know, it's massive. It is probably one of my biggest bugbears, and it's the reason I've massively gone off Jurgen Klopp, because he's so outspoken about it, and it just don't sit right with me at all. Like, think about other teams other than yourself. You know, you've got squads that are bigger than any other teams in the world. You know, they have, you know, some of them got hundreds of players. Play some kids if you're that upset about it. But I'm all for cup competitions, and I do think that magic is still there.
Oh yeah,
and I really hope that we get a big boy in the 3rd round, and I hope that we make it hard for him.
Yeah, it's still there, and it always will be. It's never going to go away. You know, say all you want, but that magic's never going to go away. And at the end of the day, you know, people are going to complain no matter what. You know, you just got to get on with it, basically. And like you say, if for that thing, if the will play kids, if they're that bothered about it, you know, the will play kids. But yeah, for me, it's, you know,
even when
you've still got
Port Vale's getting to the last 16. You know, it's just
last 8 now. Yeah,
it's just amazing.
Yeah,
amazing, unbelievable. It should be valued so much more than it is by those upstairs, I think.
Yeah. Right, so that brings this episode of Friday Football Fix to an end. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it was good, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got a lot into a short space of time there, so plenty to, like I say, go over, plenty to talk about, plenty of different stuff discuss. We've kind of not really had a structure, of kind of just spoke and seen where it got us, kind of, so like I say, we've ended up running on some really good tangents there as well, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed talking about it. So, like I say, so what I want everyone to do, and if you've got a favourite mascot, a favourite away day, favourite footy scran, no matter what topic we've commented, if you've got anything to add, drop it in the comments below, let us know, and we'll be sure to give you a reply. But
mostly your mascots. I want to know your favourite mascot.
Exactly.
I want to know.
Exactly.
If you've made it this far, please comment your favourite mascot for me.
That's yeah. I'm with Liz on that. I want to know some as well. I want to know some different ones as well. If you maybe support a club where the mascot's not as well known, let us know the name of your mascot. Because I'm interested to know, because there'll be a lot that we don't know about. But
imagine how cute they all are.
I know. But anyway, no matter what you're doing, whether you're watching some football at home, whether you're going to a match, enjoy the match. Like I say, be safe, but do enjoy your football. Hopefully this show has give you that bit of fix the day before the weekend of the football, a bit of Friday football fix. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you could please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 1,000 subs now. Let's see if we can do that. Let's say by the end of the year. I've set that target in place. So anyway, like I say, new episodes out every Friday at 6 o'clock. Hopefully we're going to have a guest on next week. So we've got that to look.
Exciting.
Yep, got that to look forward to. We're very excited. We'll let you know more about that closer to the episode next week. But till the next one, take care. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.